Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Sanders, your parent coach and licensed social worker. And today I just want to talk to you about the little things. A lot of times, and I've been there, when things are crazy and we're feeling overwhelmed with our children and our jobs and everything that's going on, everything just seems a mess. And it's really hard to find something that's working well. But there's importance to that, and there's got to be something that's working well. And as a coach, that's my job, that if you can't find that, I help you refocus to see what's going on. I help parents relax and get them able to take a step back and get an overview of what's really happening. When you're in that mess, it is so dark, it is so gloomy, it's hard to see. When you're stepping back, or you have someone else who can shine some light on what's really happening, you see it from a different perspective. When you're too close and up front, there's no way you can really see that there's any possibility of good in the situation. So that's my job, and that's how I partner with my clients to help them have some focus and reattention and relaxation and all of that around what's happening. So what I want to share is that there are little things that are happening every day that maybe you don't even realize. And it's focusing on those little moments. It could be one interaction at breakfast. It could be that moment. For example, the other day I was upstairs getting ready in the morning, and my littlest walked upstairs and just started crying. "Mommy, Mommy, why are you getting ready? I wanted to snuggle with you." And she was heartbroken. And in that moment, I dropped my makeup, I dropped whatever I was doing, and I said, "No problem, little one. Let's go. We'll hop into bed and snuggle for a little while." And I gave it to her. And it was that little moment that maybe changed the whole day for her. I don't even know. But if I didn't focus on that moment and I didn't realize that that actually was a great opportunity, it would have passed by. So it's focusing on the small things that's really important. There's an author by the name of Wheatley who wrote the book Leadership and the New Science. And what she says is, when the system is far from equilibrium, singular or small influences can have enormous impact. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Had that interchange with my little child not happened, it could have spiraled into a whole morning of her just not feeling connected and having a bad time at breakfast, and the milk being too hot or too cold, or her sister getting in her way, or a whole number of things. Whereas that small change, that small interaction really spiraled made a big impact in her day. It set the tone for the rest of her day. She got what she needed right off the bat. And we can find those moments. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the day. It could be, at the end of the workday, right before bed. It could be whenever. But finding opportunities for small little incremental changes will have an impact on your family. If you think like, "Oh, I want my family to be this way, and these are my goals, and that's important. These are my goals for my family. I want my family to look this way and that way, and I want to feel this way." But you know what? Those goals are important, and that's part of what we do. We set goals, big goals. But in order to get to that finish line, you got to take a step. Every single step makes a difference. So don't, have those goals, but just focus on that one step. Take one step and see what kind of impact that has for you. How does that make you feel? And how does that make your child feel? So in keeping that in mind, I have some questions for you. What is one big thing, small thing, or even a tiny thing that you can do tomorrow that'll make you feel good? I know you've been thinking about it. We always have these ideas like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try to wake up a little bit earlier so that I can have my coffee before my kids, come and interrupt my morning." Do that. You have great ideas. You need to trust your gut and trust your wisdom and know that you have those resources and those strengths to make change. So tap into that and take a look inside and see what's just one little thing. Just say, today I'm going to make one change, because that one change could make a difference. And maybe it won't, but know that you're making an effort. The other question I have is, what is one thing you're already doing well that you'd like to keep doing? I know it might be difficult. We're in the middle of a chaotic situation or time with our children. I know it's hard, but there's got to be one thing that I hope you can find that you're doing that you can do more of. The last question, the last question I have is, when you smile, why are you smiling? What's making you feel good in that moment? So you're making dinner and it's a hectic time and you're probably not smiling, but maybe it's story time with your kids and you're reading with them and you feel a little smile come across your face. Why? What is happening in that moment that's making you feel that way? That's really good. If you can tap into that, then you can focus on what's happening and how can I make more of that happen. That's what you want. That's what I know I needed to focus on when I was feeling like you are. And the last question I have is a bigger question. So it's taking us from looking at the small things to looking at the bigger things. What would your ideal morning look like if morning is the part of your day that's the most stressful? What would your ideal bedtime routine look like if bedtime is the part of your day that drives you nuts and ends up having you screaming and all that? What would that ideal time look like? Imagine it. Really focus on it. Think about it. How would it feel? What would it sound like? What would it look like? All those things that you can focus on that bigger image, will start the ball rolling and thinking of, how can I get there? How can I start to make some incremental changes? So